you guys? My name is Skylar. So as you guys all know, Chinese is my first language, or Mandarin. I have no idea what the difference between these two are. And English is my second language. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. My mother speaks Chinese, my dad speaks Chinese, therefore I speak Chinese. The reason that I'm okay with English is because I went to international school for 5 years when I was a kid. Basically in that school, it kind of brings in the American public school system. You start school at 9, you end school at 3, unlike Taiwan where you start school at 7:30 and you leave school at 5, and then you have to go to cram school from 6 to 9. That's Taiwan. But yeah, I stayed in that international school until I was 4th grade, and then I transferred out to a normal public school in Taiwan, and from then on I started speaking Chinese, using it on a daily basis, and English slowly became a language that I used to be good at. And the reason why I picked it up again and started improving it is another story. In this video, I want to focus on the struggles that I faced with English as my second language. The first concern is grammar. In Taiwan, we focus on grammar and the vocabularies that people hardly use. There are numerous people in Taiwan who knows what sophisticated means, but have no idea what mugs are. Apparently, they focus on harder vocabularies instead of easy ones that we actually use. So yeah, we know how to read the language, we know how to write the language, but sometimes we're just afraid to speak it. A lot of my friends told me that the reason they're afraid to speak to foreigners is because they're afraid that they will mess up the grammar and the foreigners would mock them. Grammar. You know how there are grammar polices everywhere, on the internet, on the road, like everywhere? I focus a lot on my grammar as well. You have no idea how many times I have to recheck my tweet just in case I used a instead of an. Maybe I added s in this word when it shouldn't be added, or maybe when under this circumstance I have to use a present tense instead of past tense. So there are a lot of things that will go through my mind when I actually tweet something or post something that is in English. I act as my own grammar police. Grammar is my sole focus when it comes to English, and sometimes I focus on it too much that it becomes an add-on pressure. The next struggle is that, okay, the motors in my brain, they move fairly quickly. Sometimes my mouth just couldn't catch up with the speed of my brain. That results in I know what I should say, but my mouth just couldn't formulate the words. But don't worry, I found a solution around it. I mime. Here's an example. I made a friend from the Caribbean Sea. She speaks English. She's in 2 of the same classes as I am. One of them is traditional arts, which is taught in English. Another one is basketball class. The coach doesn't speak good English, so he asked me to translate certain things to my friend there. There are numerous times that my friend would just ask me, okay, what's going on? What should we do? I mean, the professional terms, I know all of it in Chinese, but in English, it is a struggle for me. Sometimes I just don't know what to say. Maybe I'm tired that day, maybe I'm hungry that day. Basically, that's every day for me. So a lot of times I just mime. Here are just some examples. The teacher said that we need to, the ball, here's that thing, and the ball, you should like bounce it here and let it fall into the hoop. Okay, here's the ground, and here's a person, and I'm here, and I pass the ball, and you need to like use the ball to bounce it on the ground and bounce right back up to the person in front of you. Okay, here's the hoop, and you need to like walk with the ball. You need to dribble and and you hop, and then you put the ball inside the basket. I mime a lot. Sometimes when you put all of them together, it looks like choreography. Okay, struggle number 3, vocabulary. The struggle for me when it comes to vocabulary is that, okay, I watch a TV show, I understand all the things that they're saying, but when it comes to myself speaking English, sometimes I just couldn't think of that vocabulary when I need to use it, so I go for the easy way. For example, if I want to use sophisticated but I suddenly forget the word, I would just go for very classy-ish. I used ish a lot because I don't know the classy word for that specific vocabulary that I want to use, or sometimes I just look it up in the dictionary. The struggle with having English as a second language is that you don't use it every day. Sometimes you forget the easiest word. So let me go through the history of my English to Chinese dictionary. Contingent. Bypass, because this vocabulary appears a lot in Grey's Anatomy. So yeah, vocabulary is a struggle, and there are so many vocabulary booklets here. So sometimes I purchase them and I go through them because I don't want to be the girl that sounds stupid that uses ish in all of her messages. Okay, when it comes to vocabularies have advanced throughout the past years that sometimes when you see a vocabulary on the internet, the traditional English to Chinese app isn't going to help you. There are so many times that I went to Urban Dictionary for help to understand what specific phrases or specific acronyms mean. For example, there's this phrase, agree to disagree. I don't use it that often, and you can't find agree to disagree on the traditional Chinese Chinese to English dictionary. So I went to the Urban Dictionary, and after looking it up a few times, I finally managed to memorize the definition of agree to disagree. And when it comes to acronyms, I mean, I was on Twitter a lot, and in tweets, I see the acronym FFS quite often. And innocent me for a while thought FFS meant fanfictions, plural, because you know I'm in a fandom and like fanfiction is like the most normal word you could find on it. After being on there for a while, I just feel like, why are they saying fanfiction so many times? I looked it up in the Urban Dictionary and realized that acronym is not what I thought it was. So acronyms and newish, oh there I go, using ish again. Newish vocabularies and acronyms. Sometimes traditional dictionary just couldn't help me. I have to turn to the Urban Dictionary because I know they know a lot of things. Okay, the next struggle is when you want to try to make sense to what you're trying to say. You perfectly know in here what you want to say in your native language, but sometimes when you want to translate it to English, it being your second language, it is a huge struggle. And for me, honestly, it doesn't just apply to English, it applies to Chinese as well. Maybe language isn't my forte. When I message my friends in English, I have to look over it over and over again just to make sure that it makes actual sense. Sometimes my real life friends, when I send them things in Chinese, they'll be like, okay. They will tell me that a thing I type seems like something that comes out of Google Translate. Trying to make sense of what you want to say is very difficult for me. That's a struggle that I face when it comes to both my native language and my second language. Last but not least, pronunciation and fluency. A lot of my friends, when they see my videos, they will be like, wow, your English is so fluent. They have no idea that behind the scenes, there are so many clips with me stuttering awkwardly or just messing up the pronunciation in general. They focus on the harder version of, apparently they focus on harder vocabularies. The first concern, I mean, I spend so much time in post simply because I mess up words very frequently when I film videos. But after naming so many struggles, normal people would definitely come up to me and ask me, okay, there are so many struggles that you have to face when it comes to using English. Why on earth are you still answering the exam questions with English when you have the option to answer it in Chinese? Why on earth are you still watching English YouTube videos, watching English TV shows? Why are you still using your phone in English? Why do you still type in English? Why are you still using this language? Here are just some of the reasons why. First of all, in the future, I would like to move to an English-speaking country, and I also want to take the accountant exam in English, so the more practice, the better. That's the reason why I want to improve my English and better it as much as I could. Second of all, I would want to read these masterpieces without any struggle. Also, I want to be able to watch movies or TV shows without subtitles. The Chinese subtitles are just sad, and sometimes there are just certain jokes that couldn't be translated.
Listen, I don't want you guys to fight. You're Becca and Chloe. Together you're blowy, and everyone loves a good blowy.
Also, I want to be able to sing along to English songs. I'm still working on it. Biggie is stressing, and I'm thinking I love this stuff. The best thing now. 'Cause I wanna see inside. Would you let me see beneath your beautiful tonight? Oh, oh, oh. You're telling me it's real and you love my sex video? That's I put him in the jag and I hit him jab like dun 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 dun. Ain't I gonna don't. All in all, there are still numerous reasons on why I still use English a lot in my daily life. I mean, it benefits me in so many ways that I just couldn't give up using the language. It might be very struggling for me to use it at times, but I am very, very grateful of the fact that I went to international school and that learning English, improving it is much easier for me compared to other people who just started learning the ABCs when they're in elementary school. Anyways, that's my thought on having English as my second language. That's about it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And in case you still haven't, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that bell button if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another new video. Until next time, bye!